Hey, my beauties, my wonderful, wonderful people, a pleasant Sunday morning to you. If you have not yet made Jesus Christ your personal Lord and Savior, please feel free to do so. He's the best being ever, and certainly that would be the best decision you could ever make. Beautiful people, I'm extremely disturbed by a video that I'm seeing it on. I think I saw it on Pink Wall, and somebody sent it in a group that I'm in, and you know it's going to get viral. So it is, I don't know, it seems as if it's the revivalist church, I don't know, or Poco, I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't want to label the church incorrectly. I saw something about Emmanuel, whatever, Baptist. I need to look back at it because the name of the church was actually on the inside. And the reason why I said it seemed to be revivalist because I saw a table in the middle and water with candle in it. And as far as I know, Christian, you know, the traditional Christian churches, they don't necessarily practice that type of ritualistic things with the candle in the water and so forth, and it on the ground all over, and the type of dressing that they had on as well. As I said, the white turban the lady had on and the white dress, and so another way how the setting is, you know, and I think it was an elderly woman, kind of, you know, having not a friendly banter, but a combative argument with another big woman. You know, she wasn't as old as the elderly lady. And she said the reason why she's not just quarreling, and just, you know, the lady was saying in the chat to her, she said, yes, I was going to give the church $10,000. I don't know if it's I don't know if it is in Jamaica, to be honest with you, or it's overseas. But she said she was going to give $10,000, but because they chat people too much, she has changed her mind. And the pastor said, or some man, I'm assuming he's a pastor, some man said, you're rude and disrespectful, and you know. And she said, yes, yes. The old woman I'm talking now, saying to the man, yes, 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 whatever. And you know, the argument is ensuing, and she's doing this. Okay, let me pause here now. What a police officer said to me, people, when you point in somebody's face, is actually an assault. But most people would not think it is an assault. You just think that somebody is being disrespectful and they're pointing in the face. Have you ever heard people say, do not point in my face? There's just something very disrespectful about it. But she was pointing, yes, because, you know, as a woman, and you know how women are, and we're very dramatic and emotional, more than the ordinary. So she was doing that. So she wasn't physically, literally assaulting, although, you know, on the books they say that pointing is considered an assault. But the man stood up to her and he went like this to her, and she eased him off. And then he proceeded to physically assault her, because he gripped her by the neck. I saw the video. He gripped her by the neck, pushed her down on the ground. I saw somebody throwing some water. Again, they have the water thing with the candle and all of that on her. He continued manhandling her until the turban came off her head. You know, at one point, I thought he was going to put a chokehold on her, you know, and even another old man was trying to pull him away from attacking the woman. What bothered me about that man, and if he's a pastor, honestly, he needs to, I don't like to say people need to step down, but he needs to go into counseling, because that narcissistic, arrogant behavior will not work. I'm glad the video is out. What he kept saying, because he knew that it was being videotaped, everyone saw you were the one who started it first. Sir, that's a lie. Most people, I'm assuming, or some people do not know that pointing is an assault, because they're thinking, I'm not physically touching you. And this is an old woman. So there are so many things that actually work in her favor. I'm not saying that ignorance of the law will not make you pay. You understand what I'm saying? But she did not physically make a move on you. You did that. You stepped up in her face. You charged up in her face because she's a woman and you have woman's strength. You were disrespectful. You were the one who started it, because all she did was just argued with the woman. That even in the end, she said, because of you, lady, why all of this ensued. It was disgraceful. Now, I don't care if you guys are Poco, revivalists, or whatever it is. A lot of people will see this and label it the church. They will label it under the auspices of the Bible, under Christianity, which it is not. As I said, that as far as I know, the traditional churches, they don't have that kind of a practice. And based on the name of the church, I realize it is not what we call the authentic, for example, you know, like a Pentecostal church or a Baptist or Church of God. evangelical or something of the sort, you know, under those umbrella. It is not one of the authentic churches. It's a revivalist church which brings in a lot of other African or practices that are not necessarily under the auspices of the Bible. And it could not be because he felt comfortable doing what he did in front of the people. It was when it came to him, or maybe somebody said it, because I mean, you hear a lot of talking in the entire video. He probably realized, oh my God, this thing is videotaped. And then you're coming with his narcissistic response to say, you started it and everyone saw. The video is out, sir. I don't know if you're the pastor. You should be ashamed. You should not have charged up in the woman's face like that. What you should have done is say, lady, I'm asking you to leave if you're going to carry on like this. I think you're rude and disrespectful. You should have asked her to leave, but you felt, because you know that you're a male, and you know that naturally God gave men more physical strength than the woman. Generally, you know, that's, and she's an old woman. You can see that she's an old woman. And you're younger than he, and you're a big, all-staring man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself if you're the pastor or a deacon or whatever you're calling yourself in that kind of a church. And I want people to know that's not a Christian church. I'm not saying that these things don't happen in Christian churches, you know. But when I looked at the name and when I saw the whole liquid with the candles and so on and the table in the middle, I realized that's not an authentic Christian church as we know it to be. I don't know if it falls under Poco or revivalist. It seems more revivalist to me. And it's a flagrant disregard of the basic tenets of God, because you know that people are going to say, is it Christian people are going to label, they're going to label the church that way. It is a flagrant disregard. You should be ashamed of yourself as a man. So whether I don't want to be, whether it was a Christian, authentic Christian church, Poco revivalist, you had a big man pulling you away. What, pulling away from attacking an elderly woman? You know how that looks, sir? You're not going to get away with that, because they're going to say that that lady probably could have been your mother. She could have been your mother based on how she seemed to me. That lady look as if she's in her late 70s or could be early 80s. She look like she could be in her 80s to me. She looks as if she could be in her 80s and you look like you're in your 60s. How dare you, sir? And you're going to talk about she was the one who started it. Even if she was quarreling with a woman, where you're jumping at that, even if you jump into it, because it doesn't sound good, I guess, for you at your whatever you call that church, which I know it's not a Christian church. You could have said, lady, whatever it is, I am asking you to leave because your behavior is off. It is rude and it is disrespectful. You had that right. You reserve that right. And you handle it in that manner, because even if what she's saying is true, that, you know, I'm going to chat people too much, that's why I'm not giving the money. It is inappropriate. I'll agree that it is inappropriate at that moment. But you don't come and you do that to the woman and expect like this, you know, this sort of, then you come with your narcissistic comment or everyone, because you realize it's taped, or you want to try and convince the people in a subliminal way if this were to go to the police, because one of the ladies said, oh my God, you're abusive, this is abusive, this is abuse. This is abuse, call 911. You quickly talk about, everyone saw you started it. A video out there. No. The lady did not physically attack you. She did not. She only just spoke. It was a combative argument. You're a big, tough, all-staring man. And I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. I'm very annoyed. And you physically assaulted her. She can charge you for that. The video is out there. How could she manhandle a man like you and you're a male? And worse yet, she's old. And you bring the church into disrepute, because people are going to see it and think and say, I may tell you about church. They're not going to think, oh, it's revivalist. They're not going to think, oh, it's this. They're not going to think it is that. They're just going to label it the church. It is a shame and disgrace. And it tells that you people are just ritualistic. The word of God obviously has not permeated your heart, and it has nothing to do with perfection, but it has to do with respect for God. It has nothing, we're not talking about perfection, but people feel comfortable doing any and everything nowadays and in any way. But I'm telling you, the wrath of God is going to come down, you know. The wrath of God, because of this flagrant disregard for the things of God. Although that, for me, I don't consider that church, as I said, a Christian church in my, you know, based on observing it. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe to my channels. Have a good